Once upon a time, in a noisy little corner of Surulere, Lagos, there stood an old compound with faded paint and stories hidden in every corridor. The walls had heard laughter, quarrels, and even the cries of newborns. But above all, they had heard one man's voice more than any other: Baba Oke, the landlord who simply could not mind his own business. He was a short, round man with eyes that sparkled not from wisdom but from curiosity. He believed his true calling in life was monitoring ants. If a spoon fell in Mama Chioma's kitchen, Baba Oke was there. If Tunde's visitor arrived in the evening, Baba Oke saw it. If Aisha hung new curtains, Baba Oke wanted to know the price. To him, being landlord meant being chief inspector of everybody's affairs. Each morning, while roasters were still negotiating whether to crawl, Baba Oke was already patrolling the corridor with his famous brown singlet and his tiny bent umbrella. He moved from door to door like an unpaid census officer. Mama Chioma, he said one bright morning, sniffing the air like a dog that just caught the smell of jollof rice. This your kitchen dey smell too sweet today oh. Are you cooking for one person or for Lagos State? Mama Chioma rolled her eyes. Baba, even aroma no fit rest for this compound. From the next room, Tunde poked his head out. Good morning, sir. Morning, my boy. That your girlfriend that came yesterday, she resembled the one from Tuesday, or am I mistaken? The whole corridor erupted in laughter. Baba Oke chuckled proudly, thinking he had cracked a joke, but everyone knew he was dead serious. Even the children in the compound had made up a chant. Who owns the matter? Baba Oke. Who owns the matter? Baba Oke. One Saturday, the entire neighborhood gathered for a community meeting under a large almond tree. The agenda was supposed to be light issues like generator films and unpaid NEPA bills. But once Baba Oke stood up, the direction of the meeting changed. Before we discuss generator noise, he began. Let us talk about the suspicious footsteps I heard near today's window at 11:37 p.m. last Tuesday. The crowd groaned. Even the chairman, Alhaji Bello, rubbed his head. Landlord, how do you remember the time? My body clock is very sensitive to ungodly movements, Baba Oke said proudly. Mama Peju, the hairdresser, whispered. Sensitive clock wey no notice the rain leaking on him own bed. Everyone laughed. Baba Oke frowned. The truth was, his own ceiling had been dripping little by little, but he had been too busy watching others to notice. One market day, Baba Oke followed Mama Chioma to Ojo Elegba market. He claimed he just wanted to escort her for safety. In truth, he wanted to see who she was selling to, what she was buying, and how much profit she was making. At the market, he stood beside her shouting, Madam, don't buy that pepper from this woman. It's half-ripe. I'm my landlord, I know things. Within minutes, he had annoyed 3 traders, stepped on the baby's feeding bottle, and caused one woman to pour eggs on his feet. He tried to pick up his broken umbrella, slipped, and landed inside a pile of plantain. The market women laughed so hard their eyes watered. One of them shouted, Landlord, na only your matter wey no get rent. That day, Baba Oke went home smelling of plantain and humility, but only for a short while. A week later, the community organized a small masquerade rehearsal for the upcoming festival. Drums rolled, flutes sang, and people danced. Everyone was enjoying themselves until Baba Oke arrived. He marched in with authority, claiming he was inspecting for security purpose. When he saw a short masquerade costume moving suspiciously, he yanked the mask off to see who was inside. Unfortunately, it was Elder Nnamdi, the choir master, and one of the most respected elders. The old man's bald head shone under the sun, and the crowd gasped. Ah, Baba Oke, you have unmasked tradition, someone shouted. Eda Nnamdi East, even masquerade deserves privacy. Mind your business before the spirit reports you. For the first time, Baba Oke had no comeback. That night, Baba Oke decided to redeem his reputation. He grabbed a torchlight and declared himself the compound vigilante. When Tunde came out to pick something from his car, Baba flashed the light in his face. Halt! Identify yourself. Tunde, sir, the same tenant you've been beating since January. Later, Baba saw a shiny device on a window and screamed, Bomb! He called Officer Shola from the police post, who arrived only to find it was a power bank charging quietly. Officer Shola laughed till he bent over. Oga landlord, your curiosity doesn't have police training o. Then came the night the heavens decided to teach him a lesson. Heavy rain started around midnight. Baba Oke snored peacefully, dreaming that he had been crowned chief investigator of Surulere. But just as the dream reached the part where he was receiving a golden stethoscope for gossip, the ceiling gave way. A bucket of brown rainwater splashed directly on him. He jumped up screaming, Jesus, they have sent spiritual rain, and ran outside in his wrapper. Lightning flashed, and all the tenants came out with torchlights. Mama Chioma shouted over the rain, Landlord, your roof finally spoke. Even the children joined. What's the matter, Baba Oke? The compound erupted in laughter. Baba stood there shivering, soaked to the skin. The next morning, Baba Oke sat under the almond tree, wrapped in his towel like a prophet who just survived deliverance. All the tenants passed by, giggling quietly. Even small chooks greeted him. Good morning, Chief Investigator of Rainwater. Baba Oke East. From today, I will mind my business. Let everybody live in peace. Even if thunder strikes your pot, I won't ask who cooked it. Everyone clapped, but only half believed him. That same afternoon, Mama Chioma received a visitor carrying a suspicious black nylon. The man whispered something and left quickly. Baba Oke, pretending to sweep, leaned on his broom like it was a satellite dish. Hmm, maybe it's ordinary nylon, or maybe a for real business. He tried to walk away, but his feet refused. His eyes kept dancing toward our door. Finally, he whispered to himself, Just one glance won't hurt. The door opened suddenly, and Mama Chioma caught him peeping. Baba. I thought you said you have retired. Baba Oke coughed. I was only checking the direction of breeze. The whole compound burst into laughter. That night, as he lay under his patched ceiling, he muttered, Maybe minding my business is harder than repairing roof. He didn't know the heavens had one more lesson waiting for him. The next morning, Baba Oke finally called a carpenter, but even then, he couldn't stop interfering. Use longer nail there, he said. Shift that wood by 1 inch, he added. Finally, the carpenter dropped his hammer. Oga, if you knew how to fix it, I wouldn't be here. Baba Oke kept quiet for once. The roof was repaired in peace. That evening, he sat outside, staring at the sky, humbled. For the first time, he realized how much time he had wasted on other people's issues while his own house nearly collapsed over his head. Days passed and Baba Oke genuinely tried to change. When he heard noise from Mama Chioma's kitchen, he covered his ears. When Tunde's phone rang, he looked away. One evening, Aisha tested him. She deliberately said on the phone, Yes, I will bring the secret package tonight. Baba Oke's left eye twitched. His neck leaned unconsciously toward a window, but he caught himself, stood up, and whistled instead. The neighbors clapped for him. He grinned proudly, then said, "But small int won't hurt, abi?" Everyone shouted, "Baba, face your front!" and laughed till tears rolled down their cheeks. One morning, Madam Peju's goat went missing. The whole street expected Baba Oke to start shouting, but surprisingly he stayed calm. He simply looked at the ground, followed the hoof marks and said quietly, "The goat squeezed through that broken fence." Officer Shola confirmed it. The goat was found munching near the gutter. Everyone cheered. "Landlord, you did it without gossip," he smiled. "Even investigation can have manners." From that day, Baba Oke became known all over the community, not for poking his nose, but for learning when to keep it out. He still cracked jokes, still carried his tiny umbrella, but now people laughed with him, not at him. When rain threatened, he checked his roof first before inspecting anyone's pot. And sometimes, when children chanted, "Who owns the matter?" he would laugh and answer, "Not me again, my children. I have retired from other people's business." My people, always remember, when you spend all your energy peeping into other people's windows, you won't notice when your own roof starts to leak. Mind your roof before you mend your neighbor's ceiling. Oh. Thank you for watching another episode. I love you all. Kindly subscribe to this channel if you are yet to, and give this story a thumbs up. See you again with another interesting story. Bye.